Hello and welcome. Here is just a quick list of web fishing tidbits that might enhance your fishing experience. Let's go ahead and start off with my favorite tip, which is that you can hold in the middle mouse wheel button and then you can rotate your character. This is really great for getting up on benches and turning around and sitting, or for casting exactly where you want to whenever you're casting your line. Well, that time I lined it up perfectly, but you can also swivel while you're casting to try to cast directly into the bubble spots. And it looks like I caught a large perch. Wow, beautiful. When I first started playing, it was really annoying not being able to sit on the bench exactly how I wanted to, but now I can, so I can fish from wherever I like. Most people probably already know this one, but there is a little return to spawn button in case you ever get stuck or if you just don't feel like walking all the way back to the shop. Speaking of walking around, if I am going to be walking... Wow, this was perfect timing. If I'm going to be walking around, I always have my metal detector out because you never know when you're going to run into a button or a blade fragment or, you know, anything like that. Oh, and what did we get? Oh, we got an old coin. Fabulous. So if you are going to be walking around for any reason, just go ahead and pull out your metal detector. You never know what you're going to find. Speaking of things that we find with the metal detector, you can always go into your pocket and favorite things by right-clicking on them, and things that are favorited won't be sold when you hit sell all. So it's just a way to keep those hat fragments safe or the monocle fragments safe if you haven't purchased your hat or monocle yet. And don't forget, if you get extras, say you already have the hat, you can go ahead and mail that to someone else. I can't because there's no one in my lobby, but you can go ahead and mail that hat fragment to someone who might not have 3 yet. So that's just a fun little tidbit too. Something that I find slightly annoying in this game is having to hold right click to look around. I'm just so used to being able to change my point of view just by moving the mouse around, and in this game it's a little necessary. There are a few things to click on, but if you would like to look around with your mouse, you can zoom in for a POV and then see how my little mouse disappeared when I got just far enough in. Now I'm just looking around with the mouse without clicking, and you can walk around like this. This is a really fun way to just walk around the world and actually feel like you're in the world, and you can fish like this too. And you can actually get really great backgrounds for streams or for your wallpaper on your desktop or anything like that by pressing H. And that actually toggles off the HUD. So now you have a true just POV of this world. It is so cute. I love it so much. I can't wait to make a little background of this. And then H just brings that HUD back too. A few changes in the settings that I would recommend if you are a new player. I highly recommend turning the bells on. That way you know whenever you catch something, especially if you're going to be distracted, looking at your phone, doing whatever. This is a pretty chill game. You're probably doing something else while you're playing. I'd also really recommend enabling toggle for sprint because you want to be sprinting nearly all the time in this game. So just being able to toggle it on and off is great. And I really like having auto click on. That way I'm not slamming my mouse button all the time. So I'm saving my mouse a little bit, but I also have carpal tunnel. So it helps my wrist not hurt all the time. And this is not a must or anything, but for pixelization, I like to change it to no pixelization. It just feels better on my eyes. But the WTF pixelization is, you know, if you haven't tried it out yet, you go try it out and see it. Another fun little tidbit is you can put just about anything into the aquarium. You can see here I'm holding a bone. I can stick that puppy in here and he's teeny tiny, but there he is floating around. I think I put a boot in here the other day. It's just funny. It's hard to notice with the things that are so small. I do recommend being careful with this though, because he was favorited before I put him in there. And now that I've pulled him out, my bone is not favorited anymore. So just be careful that you don't accidentally sell things that way. While we're here in the storage, I want to go ahead and show off that you actually can tab through these with Q and E back and forth, just in case you don't feel like running up here to click everything. This isn't the most helpful tip in the world, but if you time it correctly, you can actually jump over this little river mouth. Oh, first try. Now that I've done it several times, I can do it first try every single time, but it's just a quicker way to get all the way across the beach in case you suddenly have the desire to gamble. So we probably all know about fishing in the void, placing down your little island here, and traveling in and out so you can get into the void, walking a little ways, and then whatcha, you're really in the void. You can place props in here, all that fun stuff, but I hate walking back and forth all the time to get bait because I have the golden hook and it uses 3 times the bait, which is ridiculous. I feel like I constantly need bait. So what I like to do is just keep my box full of all the different types of bait. I know that, you know, After you graduate past these guys, you're like, why would I use anything but minnows? But it just saves me a lot of trips running back and forth, just having my box full. Next, I want to show off all of the hotkeys, and I'll show them off on my cat, and then I'll also swap to a dog so you can hear them on there too. I think everybody knows that G lets you do a little meow to your heart's content. And K lets you kiss and have these little hearts around you. Very cute. Control G does a little hiss noise. And Alt G is almost like a little purr, like a little upset noise. Like a little humph. Oh, it's so weird to see my character as a dog. I hate it. I hate it. Here's G. Control G. And Alt G. You can also type several things into the chat to make faces or wag your tail, which I find very cute. Look at that little tail wag. Look at it go. I'll put on screen some other ones that you can do as well. And the last tip for this video is kind of a Grincher update, safety in general tip. Someone named Grincher Fan has been joining my lobbies all the time. I can't kick them, so I just leave right away when they get in there. And I've also had someone with no title, no characters in their name at all joining my lobbies. This person with no characters in their names seems to be Grincher, because one of my friends, she was playing with her husband and someone with no name joined the lobby. And when he looked at his screen, he still saw it as Grincher and she saw it as no title at all. So always be wary of that. Whether you're playing in a group or chilling in a lobby of your own, don't forget to come check this player list every great once in a while. I'm in an offline game right now, but every once in a while, just check in here, make sure no one snuck in on you that has no name or has Grincher in their name, just in case. Better safe than sorry. My very final suggestion is getting really creative with this fart thing, this little whoopee cushion. I suggest hiding it underneath things, putting it right where people spawn, putting it in the pathway, that way people have to walk on the fart. I find that I don't see people playing with these very much in lobbies, but whenever I jump into a lobby and I bring one in, everyone is like, must fart, must walk on it. So get creative with this guy. Hide it under the picnic blanket, hide it under a bush, something. Hopefully this video has been a well of knowledge for you. And oh gosh, is that really how I want to end this? Hopefully you enjoyed this or learned something new. If you have any tips or tricks, please let me know down below, and have a fabulous time fishing.